Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out something called Boson X by developers Moo and Heyo. This is a third-person 3D runner game and one that I think you probably get quite a bit out of. It's very addictive from the little bit I've seen, and essentially we're going to be running down this cylindrical area filled with pitfalls and trying to accumulate speed as much as possible, watching out for holes and just coming up with the best way to traverse whatever the environment happens to be. There is an online leaderboard, so there's a bit of a competition element involved, and I believe these developers are actually a little bit inspired by the likes of Super Hexagon, so maybe that aesthetic might shine through a little bit, but the addictive gameplay I have a feeling certainly will. So let us look at this real quick. Let's go to options. Here we've got reset tutorial on, so there is a tutorial, although I believe the game is extremely easy to get into. I've spent, about a total of 1 minute with it so far getting the sound check, so I don't 100% know how complicated it is, but we will find out. Sound effects and music 100%, and then we've got about, which is just going to be our credits. So with that, let's just jump into things here. We've got Boson X status undiscovered. Let's see if we can do some discoveries today. Select experiment is going to be Geon. Undiscovered peak energy 0%, and we can't move any of the other tiles yet because they are not unlocked. So let us start. And here we go. So we're this professor dude with patches on his elbows, and we're going to be moving along on this three-dimensional path that's moving forward, and I did not make that jump properly. I needed to slide to the right and jump at the same time. I think I chose to do one and not the other. So let's go again. See if I can get a feeling for how exactly that works. Alright, right arrow, jump right, hold for longer jumps. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to hold down as long as I can. Up arrows, jump straight. We can do this, and then we've got a tile up here. Run on blue platforms to increase energy. Oh boy, now it looks like we've got a whole bunch of stuff. Good luck, Professor! Oh, well, I guess I didn't jump to the left again. Let's try that one more time. I guess this is where we enter the game proper. Okay, I think I need to press just right and not just up, because when I press just up, I just fall to my death instantly. Okay, that's the problem I was having. Figured out. Sorted. Mischief managed. Alright, so we're going to be doing quite a bit of platforming here as we make it through this rather surreal-looking particle accelerator, I suppose, and we're going to try and time our jumps in such a way that we can land on the most blinking platforms as possible, trying to increase our energy and last as long as we can. You'll see our new peak is now set at 66.98%, and I should be making my way towards these longer paths and trying to hit every one of these as I can. It looks like the path ahead of us is being generated on the fly, and that's where I fall off to my death, unfortunately. Particle undiscovered still. Energy reading 91.63%, and then there's a pretty wild whatever that chart is generated on the right, and then of course a little bit more of an understandable line graph on the left, so we can see our progress. And then of course there is an online leaderboard. Like I mentioned, if you press O, you'll go online and then compare your score to your friends, which I have a feeling is where a lot of the addiction factor can come from on this. So when I want to go right, all I need to do is continue to hold down right. I don't need to hold up at all. So I totally misunderstood how the controls worked on that first moment. In fact, that actually makes things a lot easier. It's not that there's an independent jump button. It is just you go and you jump all the time. Depending on which direction you want to jump in, that's the only element. Oh, and you can't crash into the sides, I've just found out. That's another thing to take note of. I have seen as you progress further into this game, there are a number of other visual aesthetics that will pop up. Different mixes on the same formula. I believe that the game generally will look the same as far as like the construction, the geometry, but the color schemes do progress, and I'm not sure if maybe the music might also progress. A little bit slow on my timing there. Why am I so pathetic at this game? I really do want to get a little bit further, and then I have a feeling I'm going to get totally hooked on this one. Once I have a particularly good run and I try to beat my own score. But I think this is how it always starts. If I remember Super Hexagon was any indicator, I definitely have spent a few hours just trying to guide that little freaking triangle through all the points and lines and got a little crazy there. Alright, so let's chart a proper path through this time and not send our man to his doom, as we so often do. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Back and forth. Oh, I didn't want to go left. I wanted to go straight. Why did I do that? Alright, let's try this again. I will not rest until I've at least beaten a couple levels on this one. So I'm absolutely capable of it, just my mind seems to be getting in the way for some reason. So let's get our reaction times proper, and this looks like a bed of points right here. There we go. It's such a simple premise, there's so little to it, yet it's surprisingly something that I think could have a lot of legs, especially when you factor in the competition element. I mean, I'm keen to just compete with myself most of the time. I don't really get too worked up about competing with others. But something like this, I have a feeling, yeah. Oh, whoa, okay, well, I transcended that level, I suppose. Congratulations, a Geon particle has been discovered. Acceleron experiment unlocked. Alright, so now we've got another experiment to check out. Wow, look at the graph on this one. So let's select our experiment. Oh, we've got two. We've got Graviton and we've got Acceleron. I'm not sure if those are going to modify how things work, but let's try. So things got speedy all of a sudden as soon as that started to happen, and oh, okay, we've got red blinking lights here. Let's see. I like the way that the platforms seem to be constructed. It looks a little different. Okay, what's going on here? I don't even understand what I was supposed to do with that. Was I just supposed to jump off of that and maybe I could jump higher? So I guess maybe it does actually change up some of the gameplay formula, which is probably preferable. I think that's probably a good idea. But I would have honestly been satisfied if they didn't. And it was just... yeah, okay, I think that is the case. I tried to test it there, and I just didn't really do it at a proper time. I think that's just going to allow me to jump much higher. Or no, those actually start to fall away, and because I stood on it so long, that was why I failed. Alright, so I gotta keep that in mind. I can fly pretty far, though. And your brain has to do some interesting gymnastics trying to understand ahead of time that you need to jump either to the left or to the right or straight ahead. Like, it's not always clear because they don't give you a lot of time in advance to figure out what exactly your path is going to be. I tried to stay in the air as long as possible, and see, I've just doomed myself there. Because I didn't even know where the path was going to end up being until I was already in the air, and once you're in the air, you can't course adjust. You're kind of in it for whatever is going to be. So if you made that decision, you got to stick to it. Okay, that'll work. That will work. That will barely work. I don't know what that platform was doing next to me there. Okay. I don't have a lot of time to think here. This is not the easiest thing. There we go. Get a little bit of time off of that. New peak. Alright, things are looking a little better for us. If we could get a little bit more ground to run on, that would be nice. You know, it just occurred to me, you know what this reminds me a little bit of is a game called 3D World Runner, which I believe was for the original Nintendo at the very least. It's a game that I always wanted when I was a little kid because it had such a cool idea to it, which is essentially very much this same idea. Oh, I've probably doomed myself. Yes, I have. You were just basically running ahead, and then you would sometimes jump. It was such a simple premise, yet there was nothing really at the time attempting such a similar thing. And now we've got all this 3D technology. We don't have to try and fake it with sprites. That you can actually have polygonal mapping of all these sorts of things, and it actually works out pretty well. I am curious to try that other level that I've unlocked, and I will do that on my next failure here. So in case you were wondering, I love the music too. This it sounds really nice. Oh, that would be a failure. Okay. So how do I go? Let's go out to the menu. Let's try Graviton. Oh, this one's also got different music. So I have a feeling every single level is going to have its own music track, and I like all of them so far. Oh, we've got turnies. That's a little horrifying. Oh my goodness. I guess I can hit into them though, and I seem to be going a lot faster than I was before. Okay, what on earth am I supposed to do with this? This is crazy. Oh, this makes me really curious to see what they're going to do as we get even further into the game. They don't give you a lot of time to judge exactly where you're going, do they? I think that's part of the challenge, though, as I've probably mentioned. Super Hexagon and Influence here. I can see it, and I can definitely feel it, and my reaction time definitely needs to adjust for it. There, I bounced off the wall. And it looks like this one is also a culmination of what was in the other one, because I noticed one of those red blinky platforms, and I don't know if they do the same thing in this level as they did in the other one, but that's my indication that they're going to fall. And now that I have stuff next to me, I don't really have the benefit of being able to necessarily jump at whatever time I want to. I sort of have to take things at whatever pace they're doling them out. Okay, go left. And I'm not getting oh, why did I go right at that point? I'm not getting a whole lot of blinky platforms because of however this is being generated, which is a little unfortunate. But I will still try my best. I keep noticing that same pattern happening where I could go to the left and get that the blue one, but I keep missing it for some reason. Looks like, though, the acceleration happens pretty quickly when the times that you do find yourself on those blue platforms actually do happen. Okay, that one's gonna fall. Yeah, get a bunch of charge there. Okay, jump, right, jump. Oh, geez, this is intense. It is certainly a very serious test of your dexterity and your ability to react quickly to these situations. And I think once you get a lot of time and experience under your belt, it will become a little easier to parse some of these paths. But for me, just starting out, I keep exploding myself into walls. So 54%, 0.7, of course. It's not a bad score, I would say, for someone just starting out at Boson X. I think this game has a lot of legs to it. I have a feeling I'm going to be playing this quite a bit, but I think this is probably about all I really need to show for you to get the idea of what there is to see. So I am going to definitely highly recommend this one. I have a feeling you're going to enjoy it. Hopefully you will anyway. So let me know if that is indeed the case. Like I said, this game is totally free. You can feel free to go grab the client if you want to. Just head right into the description of this video. Oh, this is going to be hard. Now I've set myself up for failure. I better not even attempt it. I was going to try and talk while also looking at that. But yeah, go check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions, what you might do differently, if anything. If you think maybe this is a good challenge, if this is just the right amount of challenge, this is too hard, what do you think? I want to know after you played it for a few minutes. Let me know all that information if you could. And of course, any support you can offer for the show is always welcome. If you'd like to leave a like or just a comment, even just letting me know how I'm doing, that is always a great thing, and I appreciate the support. Of course, only if you feel I deserve it. There are also some other links, like my social media links, in the description of this video, so if you want to check out more in the series, I've got over 500 other videos that I've done on various indie games of all different types, different genres and categories, and if you want to sort them out, indie-impressions.com is the website you can do that at. I've got them all tagged neatly for your perusal, so you can find whatever it is you're looking for if you just want to do a search over there. Let me know how you like the website, of course. I know, by the way, I've had a few people comment that there's been some issues with registering on the site. I have to fix that. I'm not exactly sure what's happened. Something had broken in the email automated process, so I got to work on that, and I will be indeed doing that as soon as possible. So don't need to tell me anymore. I got it. Sorry about that. Sometimes mistakes happen. We had a lot of issues with it about close to a month ago now. The whole site was actually down for a day, unfortunately, but you know, that's the part of dealing with web stuff. I should also mention there is going to be an iOS version of this, if I haven't mentioned that already, so that will be something to look forward to, but the PC version is totally free, so links in the description. Hope you check it out, hope you enjoyed the episode, and hope you'll come back again tomorrow. New episodes are every single day without fail, so I'll be looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow, and I hope you have a lovely night. Later, guys.